The Outcast Podcast, where diversity meets hilarity. A white guy, a brown guy, and a black guy walk in to do a podcast, and this is what you get. The Outcast Podcast. Critics agree. It's the white-knuckle thrill ride that'll have you at the edge of your seat. Rolling Stone raves. They're unstoppable. A force to be reckoned with. New episodes drop weekly. Stream it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Watch weekly live on YouTube. The Outcast Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We do it every hump day right here. Live on your YouTubes, live on your Facebooks, and we are coming at you on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, the Outcast Podcast is back.
Yeah,
Twitching.
We have our brown guy today, although it's not the brown guy you're used to seeing.
Man, Ramo's looking fit today.
I know, right?
Jeez. What happened to Pizza the
You know what I'm
Hut?
saying? He actually look a little better, man. What you do? You get some surgery done, or what's going on?
I'm running from the immigration.
This is Rico Suave. This is not Ramo G.
Rico.
This is my good friend Mighty Mike, who will be our brown representative on today's episode of the Outcast Podcast. We'll get to know him a little bit.
Thank you.
During the show. It's going to be fun. Thanks for coming in, Mike.
Yes, sir.
And
Thanks for having me.
And you're Puerto Rican, right? Boricua.
Boricua.
So we have swapped one Puerto Rican for another one. I mean, we are sticking to the script here.
Populando.
Yeah, we can keep the freaking Puerto Rican line in there, too. So we have,
That's right.
we have
You
a
can keep
freaking
So you got to get all the jokes. So
That's
All right, we have our black representative. Let's hear it from my man from the Lou. Representing Tennessee as well. That's Memphis on air.
Baby. That's right. Throw flowers, throw roses as I walk by. Throw the roses as I walk by. What's happening?
All right, now let's hear from our white guy, our resident white guy. That will be Tom. Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Come back to a million more times than you, butter. I think that was me. Yeah, feeling good today, Gentry. I'm glad to have Mighty Mike in the house. That's my bro nail polish from back in the day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mighty Mike, we brought him in today, one, because
We're connected by back guanos.
he is a brown guy. We brought him in. And number two, he's been a longtime friend of a lot of us here on the show.
Yeah.
I've known Mighty Mike a long time. Tomcat, you've known him a long time.
Shit, yeah.
He's Memphis's realtor. He's my realtor.
Yep.
And I remember there was a time when the housing crisis was happening and you needed realtor advice. Mighty Mike was giving me great advice, telling me, hey, I think you've maybe gone too far with all these homes that you own.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking I was 28. I had it all figured out, stacking cash. I'm like, Mighty Mike, what's the problem? Look at all this money. Look at all these homes I have. But Mighty Mike came to me and told me, this is going to catch up with you, Gentry. What did you tell me back then? You gave me some sound advice.
I was like, too soon, too fast. You might earn some silver bracelets, man.
I don't think I wasn't doing anything illegal.
No.
There's nothing illegal.
Well,
You gotta be doing something.
That's suspicious.
This is America. We all operate in the gray area. But nonetheless, the guy he was with, he was a little bit slippery, shady. Slim
what was
Shady.
his name? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I don't remember.
Don't say his name. I'm just
Let
kidding.
me. Hey, so Gentry, let me ask you.
I think he earned bracelets,
is that
actually.
guy still- Also, he in jail. I'm gonna ask you, is he still
Not-
around?
That guy,
What Gentry? Actually, I think he did go down, didn't he?
I don't think he did. I don't
No?
think this guy went down. He moved back to the Pittsburgh area. He was from
Uh-huh.
Steel City, but he was a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was 2006. The deal that was presented to me was you can help people out of foreclosure. You will then own their home, but 12 months later, they'll buy the home back from you. And I thought I was helping people out with their credit, helping them stay in their home. And at 27, 28 years old, I had 8 houses, and I thought I had it all figured out.
8 houses.
TVs.
In less than a year.
No, it was like 2 years.
All right, 2 years, yeah.
2 years. Mighty
Do the
Mike's
math
like,
on that.
now this is for those of you that weren't alive during this, or maybe you weren't old enough, you remember the housing crisis of 2009 when it all
Right.
came crashing down.
This was the 1% loan that they were doing,
Yeah.
and
And you didn't have to show documentation as to how much money you were making. There was a bunch of
no doc loans.
the old no doc loans.
Yep.
But Mighty Mike, you had my back. You were telling me, Gentry, this is all. I thought, at the time when I'm in my 20s and I'm making all this money, I thought, Mighty Mike, you just hating on me, man. You don't want me making this money.
Say
You thought you were a hater, Mike.
I know.
Mike trying to block your bread.
Yeah.
Well, were you?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
No.
He's giving me every real estate deal I've done with Mighty Mike has been a winner.
I only give solid winning advice.
Apparently, you were right, though.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Hell
That's
yeah,
all.
man.
That's all we
Gentry
do
said
here.
he had to go over there and like evict some of these people, right? What was it, G?
Well, yeah. He wound up getting a house that had no house on it.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I watched like a gang that got documentaries on that shit. And I'm like, that shit's wild. Like, that shit's crazy, yo.
Yeah, it was. You know what it was? A lot of people were doing that. Then what they were doing was they were getting wrapped up in these loans and trying to refi, and so they didn't have the credit. They never should have got the house in the first place because they only had to put 1% down. And then so what happened is that the mortgage broker he was working with, they were using Gentry's credit for the guy, so that he had great, spectacular credit.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so they were using his great credit. 800 score, the best you could, the best of the best.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
And right, and then they were using it for these losers. Well, good credit and losers who are living in the house at some point was going to collapse, and so that's what happened.
The whole thing sounded kind of a little scammy to me.
Yeah.
The way that they would have you if you were having trouble with your home, they would have him buy it, but then you could get it back after a year, and you got to live in there free. The whole thing just sounded
You didn't get to live in there free.
And they
Right.
always end up not being able to pay it and getting kicked out.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
then
If it's free and it's too good to be true, somebody's
yeah.
getting banged
Yeah.
on one side
and
of
I
the
can see,
transaction.
and I can see the hustle where you can make a lot of money. I see that, but it's also not like for me hearing it. I think like Gentry got fucked with. Like he got screwed because they use him and all this other shit. So
Right.
Gentry, man, fuck that. But hey,
I
man, you
didn't
live,
get
you
screwed.
learn.
My wife got tits out of the whole thing,
And then she got screwed. Hey.
And so she got screwed. There you go. Well, somebody always wins.
Yeah, man, we had
Yeah.
big screen TVs for the greatest
wins.
furniture. We were,
Like a
There
big
you
pair of
go.
Tits.
we were living the dream. Let's move on to our next topic.
All right.
Big titties.
Let's put 2009 and the housing crisis in
Yes,
our
sir.
rear view mirror.
That's it. Gone.
It has, although more bad news, we've had a sad week. A lot of celebrities and a lot of people that we've fallen in love with, whether that's their music or them playing baseball. Did you hear Pete Rose passed away?
Yeah,
you
that
know?
sucks.
Crazy.
The Reaper came for him. We do have audio, I believe, from his last known interview. If we could roll the tape from the truck. This is an interview he did just days before he died. Roll the tape.
Baseball, and I believe somewhere in the future, baseball will give me a second chance. That's all I can go on. Okay? I hope it happens while I'm alive. I hope it happens while all my family's alive. Because that's really what the Hall of Fame is about. Fans and family.
So there you have it. Pete Rose looked pretty good to me in
Yeah,
the
he
video.
did.
Yep.
He was with fans the day before he died. Apparently, he died of like cardiovascular complications, and it was natural causes. But apparently, he just cardiovascular disease.
Yeah, shame on
In
the guy.
layman's terms, here I'm saying. But it does suck that they wouldn't let him into the Baseball Hall of Fame for gambling, and when everybody's gambling now.
Right, like
Get the
come on,
gambling
man.
It is,
ass
a
on
li- it is a little hypocritical now when you watch Major League Baseball or any sport for that matter. Now,
But it's kind of like marijuana. People who got arrested way back
That's
then.
me.
Right. And now it's everywhere, right? And big companies
Yeah.
are making money. So at times, what I think they say you can't get out of what you did in the past, including like, I had a marijuana charge when I was young too. I can't get out of that because now it's legal. So there's no getting out of jail free for that. And same thing for Pete Rose. I think that's his situation.
Well, it's still it's not against the law, but it's in every clubhouse in Major League Baseball. If you wear the uniform, if you're a part of Major League Baseball, whether it's in the front office or even you just take care of the grounds on the field,
Right.
you cannot gamble on the games.
right.
So he was gambling on the games.
Because it's like insider trading
Yeah.
or whatever, maybe.
He's
how
the
they say it.
manager of
Yeah,
the
but
Reds,
yeah,
and
he-
he's gambling on the games. Now, he says, first he denied it. I think that was one of the big problems.
Yeah.
He didn't accept it. Sometimes when you just own up to it
Mm-hmm.
and say that you did it, he lied for a long time.
Long time. I
That
remember
hurt. He finally admitted it. But then he said, I only bet on my team to win. And so, it wasn't like he was throwing games as a manager. If you would bet and then all of a sudden you just put in the bad players and lose. He claims he wasn't doing that kind of stuff. But that act, betting on your own team, even if it is to win, has kept him out of the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And the guy has more hits than anybody else.
Yeah, he was on the big red machine.
That's right.
Yeah.
Should have just
Pete Rose a hell of a player.
blamed it on Kenny Rogers. I was bumping on it, Kenny Rogers. You never
Too
count
much
your
Kenny.
money sitting at the table.
Tomcat, I'll give you $100.
I didn't know when to fold them.
$100 to
apparently.
Tomcat.
Oh, no.
If you can tell me how many hits did Pete Rose have
No, I can't
to
get
be
this.
the hit king? How many hits?
Oh, shit. I mean, 375.
375
That's it?
in a
I don't know
season.
anything. I don't know enough about it. I don't know about how many is a lot in baseball. Have no reference point. I don't have any reference
wow.
point.
All right, I'll ask Memphis,
Oh,
and I'll
man.
offer you the same thing. $100. Don't look it up. How many hits do you think Pete Rose had? What would make him the hit king?
I'm not gonna get the exact number.
We'll see if you can. We'll see how close
Let's
you
see.
can get.
To be 3,000 is a big number. So I'm gonna say he got like maybe 3,200 hits, somewhere around that.
That would be wrong.
How many hits does he got?
All right, Mighty Mike.
We had some good sounds there.
How many? The hit king, Mighty Mike, our Brown representative,
Yeah.
is in the house.
Yeah.
Wrong Brown.
Wrong Brown that time.
No, I think it's the right one.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Mighty
there
Mike.
you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
There
yeah.
you go. Yeah.
You were right.
All right, Mighty Mike, how many hits do you think Pete Rose had in his illustrious career?
I have no fucking clue, but I'm just going to say probably 5,000.
How many hits did this motherfucker got?
To get it down to the one hit is going to be
I
very
went,
difficult.
I went higher because it's not. It's probably more like 2,500.
Well, I mean, because if you have 3,000 hits, I mean, that's a
Three-
lot.
three-
That's like the
Yeah,
you
that's
get
the bar.
3,000. So I'm like, if he got over 3,000 hits, because who else got 3,000 hits?
Hank Aaron has 3,000 hits. Ty Cobb has
Yeah.
3,000 hits.
So he got to out
Pete
hit
Rose
them.
has Ty Cobb has 4,180.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
see?
Pete Rose has 4,256.
Man.
So I was a little bit closer.
Yeah, you were closer than
Yeah,
I
you were
was.
the closest.
So I get $50?
Congratulations.
Ándale, ándale.
He did come in today.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you did.
He's like, nope.
We'll take care of you, Mighty Mike. Don't you worry. That's amazing, though. Pete Rose, 4,256. Now,
Wow.
I looked up active players, like guys that are playing right now.
Uh-huh.
Could somebody possibly chase down Pete Rose? It ain't going to happen. Right now, Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers, 2,267 hits.
Wow.
And so, I think he's going to be the hit king for a long,
But
long,
these
long
guys
time.
don't play as long as the guys in the old days where they had a full career, a full 20 years or more.
I think
Yeah,
These
Yes,
guys,
'cause
these
we just
guys
talked
take
about-
the money and bounce in
Yeah,
5,
they
6.
playing
We
10,
just-
maybe 12 years.
That's it.
Last week, we just talked about Satchel Paige, 60 years old, setting a record.
Oh, yes. Satchel
So,
Paige, that motherfucker
He was
played.
60. He was
Yeah.
still playing.
That's right.
And he was
That's the
still
difference
killing
between
it.
then and now.
Mhm.
You know who else we lost? Speaking of deaths, Dikembe Mutombo. Do you know
Yeah,
who he is?
Say his full name.
Dikembe Mutombo.
No, that's not his.
What's his
his
full
full
name?
name
His
is
middle
his full name. Hold on, let me see.
Oh,
Look it up.
I got you.
Well, do you know how to say it?
Uh,
I always call him Dikembe Mutombo.
No,
It's got 5. He's actually got 5 names. Here it is. Dikembe Mutombo, Impolando Mukamba, Jean Jacques Wamutombo.
Wow.
I think you.
5.
I don't think that was
That's
right.
a lot of syllables.
Well, he's also Nigerian and he's also Muslim.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have some lesser known facts here about Dikembe. He speaks 9 languages. If you didn't know that about him. He's
Smart.
also built a hospital in his Democratic Republic of Congo.
Oh, Congo, yeah.
And he initially went to college on a scholarship to become a doctor, but he switched to basketball.
He went to Georgetown.
4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time All-Star, and of course, you legendary remember him waving his finger and
Yes.
saying,
Do we have
not
that commercial?
today.
"Not in
Yeah.
my house."
Do you have that commercial?
I don't know if we have that audio ready for the show, but
Yeah, no. The
if you can
Geico
find it quickly,
commercial.
bring it up. Oh,
the
no,
Geico.
not
Yeah.
in my house.
Yeah, it was a Geico commercial. That shit was hilarious. But yeah, Dikembe, man, that bummed me out, man. I'm like, he was a good dude. He was always happy.
And there was Rob Schneider caught a bunch of flack because Rob Schneider went online and was saying that he died from the vaccine, but he apparently died from brain cancer.
Yeah.
So
Brain cancer, huh?
a form of brain
Yeah.
cancer.
We do have the clip. Go ahead and roll the clip from the truck here. What do we
Okay.
have here? This?
Yeah, there it is.
Not in my house.
There it
Good
is.
stuff.
Not in my house.
So I was talking with John Sally, the former NBA player who was a big man, 6'11". He told me a statistic that 50% of people that are over 7 foot and above, which Dikembe was 7 foot, 7'1", he said 50% of them don't make it to 60 years old.
Wow.
And so Dikembe at 58 did not make it, so he was one of those 50%. These big guys, I guess, the larger the organs,
Heart
carrying around all
failure.
that weight, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So I guess it's kind of cool to be really tall, but you don't get to live a long life. At least 50% of them pass away.
That's why the
Wow.
people who live forever are those like little old ladies. You see those like
They small.
150-year-old little old ladies.
They
and
like-
they're
they like-
shriveled up,
they live in
they're
Okinawa.
tiny.
They like 4'9" or some shit like that.
yeah.
They're like 50 pounds.
They
Yeah,
have
live forever.
They have an
Like
amazing
Yoda.
diet.
That's
though.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have an amazing diet.
They do,
I'm
right? It's all
pretty
it's just
jealous
fish,
about.
rice. That's
Yeah.
it. Every day.
I hate to start the
Mushrooms.
show off with all
Yeah.
these downers, but I feel like we do need to pay homage to some of these people that passed away.
All right.
Chris Christopherson passed
Oh
away.
man,
The Renaissance man.
That's-
Yeah.
Let's
That's
roll
crazy.
tape. We do have something from the truck. If we could roll the tape, get to know a little bit more about Chris. Roll it.
He was an Oxford scholar, a Golden Gloves boxer, and an Army Ranger who flew helicopters.
But we knew him
Goddamn.
most as an accomplished singer, songwriter, and actor. Entertainment guru George Pinocchio has more on this truly unique performer.
Great songwriter, I know.
Me and Bobby McGee was first recorded by Roger Miller, then Janis Joplin, and several others. But Christopherson wrote it.
I didn't know Chris wrote the
Hell
song,
yeah.
Bobby McGee. That's pretty awesome. Here's another lesser-known fact. I think they just may have said it. He's a U.S. Army captain. He worked as a janitor at Columbia Records before he got his breakthrough. Famously, he landed a helicopter on Johnny Cash's lawn to hand him his
shit.
demo tapes.
That's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
That is bad.
Impressive, huh?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Here,
yeah.
man. Check this out, dog.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
My number's on there.
You know he's listening to that.
Yo,
Yes.
he like, who?
Yeah.
Yeah, you listening to that shit.
Wow.
All right, next on the list of people that passed away, unfortunately, John Amos of Good
Yeah,
Times.
Oh
James
man,
Evans.
that breaks my heart.
Let's
right
roll
there.
the Good Times theme. I love that.
Yeah. There he is.
I don't like the idea as an artist of anyone telling me I can't do this or I should behave in such a way or fashion. That's why I got into the business to express myself, make people laugh, and make them forget about stupid stuff like that.
I ain't got nothing against talking to him. Good. I have got something against listening to him.
I was very fortunate to come along in television when there was an era of good writing, and we spoke about issues that caused everybody concern on Norman Lear's shows. I was very proud to be a part of that ensemble.
Does this look like a man that's sick? Does this look like I got hypertension? Huh?
A message of morality and inspiration, but wrapped in an envelope of humor, which is the best way to deliver a message.
That's great, man. America's Dad.
Yeah, James
Yeah.
Evans, man.
He was awesome, and he worked for Norman Lear had some of the greatest Sanford and Son, Archie Bunker,
yeah, All in the Family.
all that during a
Yep.
time when people were dealing with like the issues of racism and stuff like that. Norman Lear had all these shows that was really challenging the narrative at the time. So there was a lot going on behind the scenes psychologically and mentally with those shows, and
And
this guys was a
and-
part of that.
And all
It's
these
amazing.
shows are classic. Like, all
Classics.
these are classic shows.
Yeah.
Like,
So then he went on to do movies, Coming to America.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Cleo McDowell. Remember McDowell?
Yeah. So funny.
I need to buy me a McDowell's t-shirt.
If we could roll the tape. Do we have the clip from Coming to America? This is classic here.
The McDonald's ripoff.
Oh, this is great. Look at those acting chops. He's running to the door.
I warned you, didn't I? Dottie, get him.
Yeah.
Six the dog
This is
on
when he
him.
finds out Eddie Murphy's a prince and he's got all this money and he's like, "You're out of here,
Yeah.
Daryl. You're out of here, buddy."
Yeah.
I warned you, didn't I?
The Jerry
Get
Curl,
him.
Jerry Curl
Yeah,
juice
yeah,
head.
so
So glow, so glow.
Oh, yeah. Soul Glow.
So glow.
A lesser known fact about
Funny.
John Amos, he was once a Golden Glove boxer. And he was a social worker before he found his fame, and he wrote some children's books.
Wow.
Nice.
One's
Legend.
called A World Without Color, so, rest in peace there, John Amos.
Yeah, man, rest
also,
in peace.
Chris Christopherson, that's a mouthful, Dikembe Mutombo, Pete Rose, hopefully one day he will make it into the Hall of Fame. But one guy that did not die over the weekend, one more. We got to sneak in Frank from American Pickers.
Yeah, Frank.
Go ahead, Tomcat. I know that you love that show.
Well, I
would
stopped
lube yourself up and watch that show.
I used to love the show when Frank was on the show back in the day. When it started, I loved it. I thought it was the most interesting show because it showed America and it showed all these amazing things that were Americana and it showed all these amazing people. But then they kind of like kicked Frank off the show, and I never liked that. But so I stopped watching it, but it sucks. And so R.I.P. to Frank. And I went back yesterday and I watched some of the original episodes with Frank on there. They were way better. You're the man, Frank. Yeah.
You know that show, Mighty Mike, American Pickers?
I remember. I watched it a few times. I'm not big into TV anymore. I'm really busy, but I've seen the show many times. It's pretty entertaining. So
yeah, they go to these random locations, find little gems in people's garages.
And they know all about the stuff.
Yeah.
they know all
really
about
cool.
it. They have all the back. It's like like antiques and stuff
learning.
or whatever. Yeah.
You know what's crazy about all this? Chris Christopherson, Dikembe, John Amos. Oh no, not Dikembe. He passed 2 days ago. But the other ones, four died on the same day.
All the same day. Wow.
On the same day.
That's crazy.
And Dikembe was the day before.
The September 30 was Dikembe.
There was something odd.
What was going on in the universe, astrological cycles? We don't know about.
I don't know. Well, I guess we got lucky.
One guy though that didn't die. I don't know if you're familiar, Mighty Mike, but we
this guy's like a freaking cockroach.
We do have a death pool. We have a death pool that we do here on the show.
Death pool, really?
Death pool,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Can you tell them how we got to this first?
You gotta wait. You gotta say celebrity death pool. That makes people like it way better.
There you go.
Because people want to see celebrities.
Tomcat
kicked
knows.
out. Yeah.
All right. So
regular people, nobody wants to see them get hurt. But
so
celebrities.
send me the skinny. What's the skinny on this?
This was Tomcat's old lady's idea. So explain it,
Okay.
Tomcat. This was your old lady's
Celebrity
idea.
death pool. Each year, we pick a person who we think looks like they're going to kick the bucket that year for one reason or another. Whether it's because they're just treating themselves crappy or because they're so old, they definitely look like they're a pile of like ice cream, like our friend here.
You picked Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy
right?
Carter.
Oh,
But
Jimmy Carter.
He turned 100.
The Peanut Man.
Over the weekend. Look at
Holy.
Yesterday, he turned 100 yesterday.
Holy mackerel.
Oh, Lord.
What was that, a poltergeist?
How have I not got this money yet? No,
He's
just kidding.
100 years old.
He's the first president to turn 100.
Is that a real photo of him?
Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
That is him at another person's funeral.
He's got
Actually, so he's definitely like faking out the Grim Reaper. He's like,
he's got the teeth like that movie where they're all like cones.
Oh, be nice.
man.
Then,
It's
Tom.
Halloween
Man,
too. They can
that's
just prop
Jimmy
his ass
Carter,
up
man.
outside.
Somebody AI. That's AI.
That's
No,
not
he's, no,
AI.
he's, no, that's him. He's still here.
Bullshit.
Let's show a picture of like when he was the president. I mean, let's stop showing all these ones where he can barely breathe.
Yeah.
It looks like he's on his
There
deathbed.
he is.
Oh, there he is.
He looked better
That was a
before.
nice-looking man.
I think that's when
Georgia man.
I think this is when he was the governor.
This is when he was tearing the country up.
Yeah.
Inflation through the roof.
He turned 100. So TK, unfortunately, it looks like he could make it to 2025. Now, who did you pick, Memphis?
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint
I had Willie Nelson.
You're
you
betting
got
on
Willie.
Eastwood. That's the tough one, man. Clint Eastwood's
Clint
a tough
Eastwood,
old guy.
Yeah, he is. He's still thinking he Dirty Harry and shit. Like, no, motherfucker, you not. But
Wow.
We won't
No,
bring
you're
you
not.
into this, Mighty Mike. I don't want
I don't
It
know.
is
You
bad.
can.
Well,
It is bad you
here's
do.
the thing. How do you guys come up with what's the selection process in regards
just
to
kinda-
who you think is going to
Don't
drop
ask.
dead?
Well, let me ask you, how would you pick one? If you
Yeah.
were going to pick someone, who would it be?
Yeah, like if we said, hey, Mike, you got to pick somebody because you
Well,
win
the
now.
problem is I don't know who had passed away. I mean, I would, I'd think one of the Bushes or something.
Yeah, they still around.
They still-
no, Daddy
Oh,
Bush gone.
Daddy
Bush
Bush
is
is
gone.
yeah,
Daddy
but,
gone.
but
That's-
George,
Did he die? Yeah, he
He's
died.
still
Junior's
fairly
still-
young.
he's still,
George.
yeah.
still
So
hanging out.
This is how I did it.
that would be something I would have to think about and look at and be like, okay.
I actually did that. I looked up
Okay.
on my computer who are the oldest people like still
Still
living,
living
celebrities
today.
still living.
Right.
And it gave me a list of a bunch of people
There
that
you
looked
go.
like vegetables, and I says,
Okay.
this guy looks the worst.
Right.
Jimmy Carter.
This guy is knocking on death's door,
Oh,
basically.
no.
Just had
I
another-
just had to figure. I was like, I'm under pressure. I got to figure this
And
out.
he
I
is
got
now-
to pick somebody. And I'm like,
He's
that
now
motherfucker Clint Eastwood.
He's now the only American president to make it to 100 years old, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a high-stress job. Gentry, who's your guy?
I was Willie Nelson.
Who did Rainbow
I would
pick?
hate.
Oh,
I would
he's
hate to
got a
see
long
Willie.
time to go, though.
He's in his
I-
90s.
But he's kicking strong. He's still playing concerts.
I don't know. He's
I
just
don't
been
know.
Still
he's
getting
been
high
canceling.
off of
Still
edibles.
smoking.
He's been canceling some shows.
Has he? Oh, there you go. That's a sign.
He got excited. Ramo picked Mel Brooks.
That's who he did.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, Mel
Mel
Brooks.
Brooks.
That's
Wow.
right.
Okay.
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Because you forget that he's still around.
I
Like,
thought
he
he
had
already
passed away.
Yeah.
I thought he
That's the guy you want to pick.
Yeah, those are the ones. The
Bam.
ones I
You
think
just
that
said
they died.
anyone who you go, I thought that guy already died. That's your guy.
That's the guy.
That's
right.
your guy.
You're right. You're right.
Is Joe Biden still alive? Do we know? Is he still
Oh,
alive?
he's still, yeah, he was around.
Oh,
I saw him he made some kind of
Joe
comment the other
Biden.
day.
Joe Biden.
I heard the other day somebody says that guy, he's a potato.
A potato.
Oh, Mr. Potato Head.
Hey, Mr. Potato. I
let's-
don't know. It made me laugh.
Let's move on to our next topic, which is last night's debate between the vice presidential candidates. You had J.D. Vance going up against Tim Walz. And I will say they were somewhat nice to each other.
I,
Yeah,
It was
they seemed to
unlike-
like each
that
other
was
a little
nice
bit.
to see, actually.
Unlike
It
a
was.
Trump debate with Kamala and even Trump with Hillary, you know, it can get nasty. But this one, they both respected each other. I'll start with you, Tomcat. What did you think about last night's vice presidential debate?
I thought it was a really good debate. I sat down to watch it for a second, ended up watching the whole thing, and I was really happy with J.D. Vance. I knew I would be happy with him. I thought he did a great job. I think Tim Walz did pretty good. I think the parts where Tim Walz messed up was when they asked him about being in the Tiananmen Square for the massacre, and he lied about that, and his only answer was, I lied, basically.
That was in China back in the day?
Yeah, that was when he had said he went to China. He's also been to China like over 15 times, which is kind of weird. But other than that, I thought he did well. They were very cordial, and it was great to watch. A lot of policy and a lot of, like, if you wanted to know about what's going on and who you wanted to pick, it was good. It was good. The moderators.
Didn't Tim Walz do a good job, though, on healthcare? That's his
He
thing.
did a great job on healthcare because out there he's out in
Minnesota.
say it?
Minnesota.
Minneapolis. They're like known for healthcare. Their healthcare is top
Yeah,
notch.
the best in the state.
His healthcare chops were good.
He
He's
got
good
the
on
Mayo
healthcare.
Clinic is out of Minnesota too.
Yeah.
I'd
So
say
if you're familiar with the Mayo
for JD
Clinic,
Vance, man, it was a clinic on how to take some people's attacks on you and just kind of take them apart and turn it around and not let it get under your skin. The fact that, you know, you got two moderators that are trying to fact check you even though they weren't supposed to fact check, and they tried to fact check him on the Haitian migrants in Ohio and said that they all actually have legal status. But then he said, well, if you're going to fact check me, allow me to go ahead and tell you that it's because of this app that they have given them to go ahead and just wave the wand and give them legal status. It's not like they waited in line and actually got legal status through the court systems, and then they shut his mic off. But I
What
thought
about
that was,
to the people
that was
that
really
say
interesting.
that J.D. Vance is creepy? Because I've heard people on the other side
Well,
say
see,
he's creepy and that
when
he's-
we were talking about like how it was a good debate because of substance, I think that's not substance.
What about the fact that he called Donald Trump at one point? What was the heinous thing he said about him years
He said
ago?
he was like Hitler.
Yes.
Well, I think that's good to me because it shows that he ain't gonna.
It's good that he's like Hitler? What-
He's
hold
speaking.
up.
He's speaking truth to power. He told Donald Trump, "I don't really agree with you." When he didn't agree with him, he was speaking truth to power. He said, "I don't agree with you," but then when he did find that he felt like he agreed with Donald Trump, then he found terms to agree with him. But he was honest with him and saying, "I didn't agree with you originally. You know, I heard some of the bad things about you on the news, and I believed him at first, and then I did the research for myself, and I changed my views." To me, I like that because it shows a person willing to admit that they've changed their position, and he said why he changed it.
Did you watch the debate, Memphis?
No, I did not. I have more important shit to do. Idiot.
So the vice president, a lot of people will say that the vice presidents, they do nothing. It's like a job where you have no authority.
Well, that's true. They
And
don't have any
Well-
platform. They're not in control. People don't elect them.
But I think that they are a part of it, right?
No,
I mean,
no.
there's-
It's like we learned this in civics class.
Yeah,
the duties of what each person does in the executive branch. Everybody knows the vice president don't it's like basically go do that shit or go do that shit.
Right.
Or do that shit. Okay, I don't feel like doing this. You do that.
He's the assistant. He's the boy to do the stuff. That's
He makes the coffee and stuff.
He's the assistant.
If the president tell him, go make me a fucking Colombian coffee, your ass in the kitchen doing that shit.
And then he gives the message to the third and fourth guy. So that's how it works. It's administrative role. Yeah.
It does say here, the Constitution names the Vice President of the United States as the President of the Senate. In addition to serving as the presiding officer, the Vice President has the sole power to break a tie vote in the Senate.
That part they do have.
And formally presides over the receiving and counting of electoral ballots cast in presidential elections. So it sounds like they've got a role in the presidential election.
The transfer of power.
Now, how does that happen with Kamala Harris being the vice president, and then she will be the one counting the electoral ballots that are cast?
Man, that sounds like you're going down a conspiracy chamber right now. So
that's the transfer of power. That's what
what
Pence. That's why they got pissed off at Pence for, because they didn't want him to read the votes, the electoral votes as counted. They wanted him to come up with some other number. And so that's why they were pissed off at him. So, I mean, that is an important role of the vice president in the transfer of power, because he controls the votes of Congress to say yay or nay. And he also has that one deciding vote, that one extra vote to break ties or whatever the case may be, if in their middle of, some sort of a standoff or whatever's going on. While they're making laws and policies. So, but that's one of the most important things right there. Obviously, the vice president also has the capability of being president, taking over
if the president dies.
If the president dies, like when John F. K. got shot or whatever. That's right. That's right.
Now, did you watch the debate last night, Mighty Mike?
I worked really late, and I got in and started cooking myself something and turned it on and listened to it. And one of the first things in my room, one of the first things I noticed was how pleasant these guys were to each other. And it was at the end, so the last, 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And it was a night and day difference between how Trump on all his things that he's done, how he creates the worst in people sometimes. They're both going bad.
Don't be rude.
And then, right, there you go. And then, with these two guys, right, they're like pleasantries, right? And so I can agree with some of that. So like I heard that 4 times. Like Vance said it to him and vice versa. So
I heard a lot of ladies talking about JD Vance and those blue eyes.
Oh my God, you getting off track? What the hell?
Really?
No, I mean I
was
did
that
see
you, Gentry?
No, it wasn't me. I saw it in my feed and on Twitter,
really?
on Twitter and on Instagram.
Those are the ones that should not be voting.
They like that, the blue eyes of JD Vance.
They're voting with their muff, eh?
It's
on that guy's face.
The lobby vote.
Twitter used to be a really fun spot.
I think
he makes me moist.
I think they want to give him a.
It makes me moist.
They wanted to give him a full-throated endorsement.
On stage giving a
full-throated endorsements. Oh boy, don't we all want one of those?
Right.
Boy. He's tall too. I bet he's tall.
Come here, girl. Let me give you this full-throated endorsement.
You gotta have them ribs and pussy too.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Mike. I don't know if you ever checked out any of the shows, but we didn't inform you. This is what you was gonna walk into.
Oh yeah, so. Sounds like it would be the Vance womb stretch going on.
He's a young guy too, isn't he? Only like 40 years old.
JD younger
Vance?
than that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's
late
40.
30s or 40.
Yeah,
early
somewhere
40.
around our age.
JD Vance. Let's see how old is he?
He might be like, I don't know. I wouldn't give him more than 45.
They're eating the dogs.
I wouldn't give him no older than that.
How old is JD Vance?
They're eating the pets.
Oh no.
What are they? He's 40.
So he's 40.
Born August 2nd. He just turned 40.
Oh, his birthday day after yours.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Pretty close. And you know what? A friend of mine I know is born on August 2nd, and he kind of looks like him.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of guys I'm noticing that look like JD Vance. Like when I was at the grocery store the other day.
All the guys with a beard.
Yeah. It's just
You got the
it's a
JD
look.
look going
And there's
on
a lot of guys
the
that
beard
have
thing.
that
It's a
J.D. Vance look.
Midwest look, I think.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could grow a beard. I can't. It does not grow.
I mean, neither.
Fucking straight up Joe Dirt. Fucking.
That's what I got. That's what I got.
But then you
all
have
the
a
grows.
mullet too, though. You have a mullet. Why, if you grew a beard, wouldn't you just have a mullet?
What do you mean?
I can see,
No, mullet's on your head.
Well, I know.
Gentry grows a good beard, I think.
not
Yeah,
that good.
Gentry got a pretty patchy.
Gentry
but-
had
Yeah.
a mullet
It's
too.
it's
You missed that
patchy.
one.
Yeah.
Mine, yeah.
patchy.
Mine
Patchy.
won't even grow up here. at
Mine's
all like
patchy
that.
too. It's like I look like a homeless guy with a. It's not good.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our next topic. I have some concern for Tomcat. You know, it wasn't long ago, just a couple of weeks ago, him and Memphis almost went outside.
I've seen that.
Show you what kind of a man you are. You're less than a man.
Why are you not outside, bro? Outside here in a sec, buddy.
A fucking idiot.
Let
So-
me catch you outside.
It
Show
got,
you what kind of a man you are. You're less than a man.
it got kind of chippy. It got kind of chippy a couple weeks ago. But the good news is, in the power of this show, we're bringing people together to have conversations, and sometimes friction can bring great results, which I have seen it between Tomcat and Memphis. They
Right.
seem to be getting along better. Now, I can't promise this is going to last, but I'm hoping that it will.
Yeah,
Nice.
we're good.
But on to my concern. It was only days after that we were in here producing music, and he got into it with a guy who's been on the show as well, Dirty Red.
We're not
J-Van.
here to fight. We're here to get some answers.
So next thing you know, he's arguing with another member of our team. Then it gets worse.
TK.
By myself.
So now, Tomcat, I'm not sure why you told me this because you knew I was going to bring it up on the show. But Tomcat came in all frustrated. I said, "What's the matter, Tomcat? What's the problem?" He's like, "Well, this AI, it's really pissing me off."
Tomcat is a dumbass.
So, Tomcat, you were getting into an argument with Memphis. You're getting into an argument with J-Van, and now you're getting into an argument with Gemini.
Gemini, you twat
What's up,
waffle.
bro?
What did
is flat, space is fake.
What did Gemini do to piss you off, Tomcat?
TK
Well-
has a micropenis.
I was watching. Listen, that may be
That's
true.
the real problem.
That may be true. It's neither here nor there, Gemini. Speaking my business. Well, what happened was I was watching Fox News, per the usual. Greg Gutfeld
TK,
said
shut
that
the fuck up.
hurricanes are losing strength since 1980. They're losing strength. So I go in the room and I look in Gemini. Are hurricanes losing strength since 1980? And it's like, well, the data says that hurricanes are not losing strength since 1980. It says that there are more 2 to 3 strength category hurricanes in the Atlantic Basin than there have been, and that they're genning up faster. Their rapid intensification is more now, right? It says that. So then I tell it, hey, your climate change agenda is a fucking hoax. Click.
You told it that.
That's what I tell this bitch. Click.
Right.
What?
Sorry.
It comes back. It says, hey, it says the data doesn't really bear that out. You know, it says that climate change is not a hoax, this and that. And I said, oh. I says, you didn't see what I said there. I said, your fucking agenda's a hoax. I said, the climate's always been changing. Oh, I fucking got you. I fucking got you. And then it was like, I'm just kidding. And then it was like, it didn't know what to say after that. It was kind of just like, you know, basically it's not an agenda. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
What are your thoughts, Tomcat?
Oh, jeez.
What are your thoughts on climate change?
The climate's always
is a
fucking
giant
changing.
ball.
It's the climate. It's changing. The agenda is the hoax. The agenda that they're
What
gonna
is
fucking,
the agenda? What's the agenda?
The agenda is whatever they say it is.
To get rid of gas cars?
Well, that'll be one. I think that people should have the choice. If they want to keep have a gas car, if they want to have an electric car, that's fine. Gas cars are fucking completely clean burning, and all the electric cars are being powered by coal plants and gas power anyway. So they're not powered by like electricity that comes out of the sky, Benjamin Franklin. They're powered by coal and gas plants.
What are your thoughts, Mighty Mike, on climate change? Do you believe that the climate is warming and that it's due to us humans that's doing it?
Yeah, it's the Earth could be playing a part of it, but all the studies that I look at, and in particularly as it relates to real estate, Wall Street believes it is. And that's why insurance is going up. So you don't have to believe in climate change, but the guys who control this earth do. And it's for that reason that we can't even get insurance in the state of Florida. Insurance companies believe in climate change, which is why they're tired of paying out whatever they pay out here, and we have to pay billions of dollars just to get insurance companies to come to Florida to write. We just had another insurance company, Heritage, which I'm the president of my association.
Okay.
We're fighting with them now.
Flex.
Yep. And on top of that, just found out that Heritage is playing a game. They had a 60 Minutes report. I just found out this morning. 60 Minutes that they're trying to scam people in Florida because they're looking to get out of here after DeSantis paid them $500 million to come, like money to come write
You
policies
said that was on
in Florida.
60 Minutes because I just saw something on 60
It was on
Minutes
60
about
Minutes.
that.
I haven't seen it yet, but I was on 60
saw
Minutes.
it.
So my point is, it really doesn't matter what I believe in. What matters is the people that have to insure real property and businesses and bars and whatever else is going on. So economically, as it storms and the way the weather affects is a problem. And whether or not the world can fix it, that's another question, because we can't fix climate change if we're doing clean here and China's fucking burning up everything,
True.
right?
That's bingo.
And so this is why conspiracies don't work, because really people don't get along.
What's the conspiracy?
Sometimes
any conspiracy
that it doesn't exist.
That's not, and it's not what I said. I said it does exist. I said the agenda is the problem, and what you're speaking to is the agenda. The way that the insurance companies are using people here and threatening to pull out, and the reason is because even though the United States has seen a 4 times increase in the amount of people that are living here since the 1800s, the coastlines 50 times increase. So there's so much new shit on the coastline they're building. So it's like all the buildups on the coastline, and that's why we're having the problem, and the insurance companies are having the problem. It's not the weather. It's the people and the buildup of all the shit on the coastline.
Well, but the oceans are still hotter, TK.
I'm not saying they're not.
Yeah,
I didn't say they were.
They have a hurricane, Joyce, going to England. Like,
that's right.
The Atlantic has never. That's a cold ocean, by the way. I living in New York City, brought up there in the summer. We would go there, so 50 degrees, 48 degrees in the summer. And now you have storms in the Atlantic going to England and Ireland.
But the only problem with it is these things like solar panels,
Mm-hmm.
electric cars, it's all set up so China eats our fucking lunch. So they are the superpower going into the future. That's where all the money is going that direction.
Well, then we can make that
the
shit
thing
ourselves.
is, it's all a hoax because those cars, they're not clean burning. The energy is produced by the same coal, gas. It's it's not just electricity that comes from nowhere. It's made by coal and gasoline.
Well, it
plants.
does, right. So you're partially right there. It doesn't really. They still have to burn carbon fuels to produce what
and
they have.
How are they going to get rid of the batteries?
So
for the cars?
The problem is
they
that
don't know.
The technology is really not there yet. And on top of that, there's a problem where every country is starting to realize every time a country gets hit with a tsunami or one of these things, they're like, yeah, we need to figure this out. But the United States is trying to do it for a long time. The technology is batteries, right? But the technology in batteries is not.
What
batteries
happens
die.
if we get hit by a hurricane and we ain't got generators and we ain't got gas? What do? All the power goes out. We all got gas. We all got electric cars.
I think
with our thumb up our ass.
I think you also got to realize that the oil and gas industry and automobiles have a huge lobby and don't want this to change either. But, they could get energy out of water, hydrogen, yet no one's pushing that one.
And they've been doing that for a long time.
So there's also the problem with industries, right, that want to keep their business going. So the reality is that climate change breaks down into greed of oil, greed of gas, greed of automotives. Because if you were to make energy out of water, well, hell, water's free.
Yes.
Right?
70%.
Lithium, all these mining ores, right? Everyone has a stake in the game in regards to making money.
I have a question. Why wouldn't they just make all the military shit run on water if it can run on water?
The technology's not totally there yet.
It's dangerous as well. It's dangerous.
No, hydrogen's also unstable.
It could blow up.
Then it can't be done.
It can be done.
It can be done. It just takes time. They have to figure it out.
I guess my point is, if the military could use just unlimited water to power their shit, and they didn't have to fuck with gas and get it to the front line, they'd be using water.
Who says they don't? Because I think the Air Force has been experimenting with that.
And then on top of that, we don't know everything about the military.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know the technology they're doing.
Yeah, we don't know what
they just had. Right, they just had something.
You guys don't know shit. No, I'm just kidding.
They just had something not too long ago where something got out. some guy from the Army let some private information go on the internet, and he was a military guy and fucked us, sold it money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, greed, right?
Yeah.
And so now some new technology that we have with our airplanes or whatever, like he sold it to China. So
that's
you're
fucked
never,
up.
yeah, right. So you're never gonna stop.
Whoop
greed.
his ass. Whoop his ass.
Well, they'll send him to jail, or the guy went to Russia or whatever. I don't know.
I do always think back to COVID, right? When we all stopped driving.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And they stopped, I think the planes, everything stopped. And apparently the earth got much cleaner. They were saying that, like, for the first time, certain places in the ocean were all blue again, and they were seeing animal life in the oceans and places
you
they
see
had it.
I noticed that too where I live.
It seemed like the earth was immediately restoring itself from everybody stopping. So there is a part of me that saw that.
You
So
saw
I
that too, yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah,
that was
that's true.
I saw.
That's true.
So
That's real to me.
I have a lived experience of watching people say that, report that.
Right.
So I do feel like we're definitely having, an effect on it ourselves. But I just feel like
Earth is flat. Space is fake.
our cars, our gas cars and shit. I think that's the sticking point for me because I think they're clean burning as shit. They're already clean burning. The gas.
If they were clean burning, TK, you could sit in the garage with your muffler on. They're not clean burning.
Well, that's because it's carbon. Yeah.
Microchip.
It's not, but that's not clean.
But at the same
I
time,
guess
too,
that's a good
like
point.
if there was an alternative to Pibby from gas and whatnot, it makes
The
sense to
hybrid
do
cars
it.
are great.
I have a hybrid.
It would make perfect sense. My wife has a hybrid.
I have, I get, so by the way, hybrid, I have a hybrid right now. I just bought this car, brand new, 2023. I'm getting 600 miles to the gallon.
Damn.
It cost me
600 miles a gallon?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 600 miles to the tank. To the tank. It costs my tank is 17 gallons.
You're probably getting like 50 miles
40
a gallon or something.
Man.
Yeah, $43 at it was $3. The gas went down cheaper. It's like $2.50 an hour, $2.80 or something.
It's like $2.79
But I paid
at Costco where I go.
That's something like that. But
Yeah.
I paid like $3.29, so it was like $45 to fill that up. That literally, if I don't do a lot of driving, that literally will last me 3 weeks, if maybe even a month.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I could wind up spending $45 a month. I bought that car. My gas bill is down by half.
I got to get one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk trash about it until you get one. Like I filled my wife's car up just the other day, and she
Well, a hybrid, not an all electric.
But a hybrid,
the hybrid's fine because you still use gas.
Right.
Well, but here's the thing. Things don't have to be perfect because they never are. They just have to be better than what they were before. Okay? So that's the problem. People that are into fighting of conspiracies or whatever, they're like it's all or nothing, and that's not how life works.
That's true.
So we could have climate change fixes by making everyone go to hybrids, right? The amount of fuel you're using, the fact that I turn my car on and it doesn't turn on, right? And my gas engine only goes on when I stomp it, and it takes off it's like a 250 horsepower, like it snaps your neck back like my Mercedes used to the one I had way back. And so, I mean, these cars are amazing. The batteries don't get used as much, so they probably will last a lot longer as opposed to a solid lithium car that's blows up and got lithium.
I would rather see nuclear be used. They need to start building more nuclear plants in the country as well.
That's what Ramo's doing in the bathroom right now.
They got nuclear explosions.
1 second before you go on. If they were to put nuclear plants and use that nuclear to power all the electric cars, which are the future, that would be the way to go.
I don't know, man. I don't want no
if you could charge the batteries, but again, that technology was the 3 Mile Island was the reason why they quit making them, because that was a very dangerous.
It blew up, yeah.
It melted, and there was another one in Russia. What was it? Chernobyl. Thank you.
It was in the Ukraine.
And that killed animals, children. Like that's a ghost town now.
Yeah, you
so
can't
anyway.
even go there.
All right, let's move on.
But that was good.
Doing the news.
It's time for Tomcat's not so good news. This show has flown by, but it is about to come to a close.
Is that your newscaster jacket?
This is
where's your bow tie?
For you guys.
Yeah, man, Tomcat, if you're watching us on YouTube, he officially changes into his news outfit.
Nice, all professional.
In real time, too.
He's taking this role of news very seriously, and we would like to thank our sponsor, Factor Meals. If you're looking for a meal delivered directly to your house, all you have to do is go to factormeals.com/outcast, and you can save 50%. They deliver meals right to your front door, fresh, never frozen, 2 minutes, ready in the microwave, no going to the grocery store. There is no cleanup either, no dishes, which is my favorite part. Go to factormeals.com/outcast and have it delivered to your front door. Tomcat, what's going on in the news world?
What's going on, Gentry? Today is October 2nd. TMZ and the Sci-Fi Channel are running the horror flicks 24/7, and I love it. Halloween is right ahead. Speaking of ghosts, American picker star Frank Fritz dead at 60. We already talked about that today, so I'm just going to skip all the dead people. Some history about October 2nd coming up. Naturalist Charles Darwin returned to England on this day in 1836 after a 5-year journey on the HMS Beagle, on which he gathered the specimens and observations that led to his theory of evolution by natural selection. The science fiction anthology TV series The Twilight Zone debuted on this day.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was Gandhi's birthday. He was born on October 2nd, 1869 in Pura Harbor, India.
Gandhi.
Gandhi?
Gandhi.
Oh,
He
okay.
died January 30th, 1948 at the age of 78 years old. 1965, Gatorade first tested in a football game today. 1965.
Damn Gators suck ass.
1967, American lawyer and civil rights activist Thurgood Marshall was sworn into Associate Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, becoming the first African-American member.
Yep.
Right,
So we got Gatorade before we got the first African-American Supreme Court justice. Okay.
I bet they sit their Gatorade to them damn mouth breathers.
This day in sports, 1947, New York Yankees catcher Yogi Berra hits the first pitch-hit home run in baseball World Series history off Ralph Branca in the 7th inning of a 9-8 loss to the Brooklyn Dodgers in Game 3. In music, 1995, British band Oasis released their studio album, What's the Story? Morning Glory. It sold a record 347,000 copies in the first week. Film and TV, 1957, The Bridge on the River Kwai is released, later winning Best Picture in 1958. Too much cocaine. It is International Day of Nonviolence. Nobody is observing that one.
No, none.
At all.
Guardian Angel Day.
You sure it's not the day of violence?
Yeah, I know, right?
National Coffee with a Cop Day. So buy your friendly neighborhood deputy a cup of Joe or maybe a donut.
Do that. Not gonna do
Yeah.
that.
He's not going to do that. All right, my first story is a Hurricane Helene, a horrible hurricane we talked about a week ago, but finally roared on shore. Powerful Category 4 hurricane that made landfall in Florida, becoming the second deadliest storm to ever hit U.S. This is a house that actually broke off its foundation in this video we're showing and floated away.
Oh, wow.
Helene left at least 160 people dead. Communities wiped off the map. Survivors are struggling to get food and water right now.
Yeah, because they never thought in a million years that
this
would
guy
happen
looks
up there.
back and his house is floating away.
That's crazy. And this is North Carolina that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, it's crazy over there right now.
This second video that I have is a dash cam footage shot on Friday morning. This one shows the moment a couple barely escaped a mudslide that came crashing down onto interstate in North Carolina in the Blue Ridge Mountains. This is because of the storm here. As you see, they go past, and just seconds later, this mudslide comes down. They see it.
Wow.
And it hits the back of the car, and it breaks the screen on the camera as it goes by. They are lucky to be alive.
Damn.
That's up in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
And the Blue Ridge Mountains are beautiful, too. But, yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Trumpster toured the damage, started a GoFundMe account, got $2 million raised. UFC's Dana White donated $100,000 himself. Next up, T Swift Guitar, a Texas man, is going viral for taking a hammer to a guitar signed by Taylor Swift. He paid $4,000 at an auction for this guitar and then promptly walked up to the front, got himself a hammer, and made the best sound in music this guitar probably ever played.
You don't like Taylor Swift?
I'm just kidding. He says he actually likes Taylor Swift. He's just doing it because he doesn't like her pick for president.
So he spent $4,000.
$4,000.
He's the idiot. Look at that.
Exactly.
Dumbass. He up there, and the idiots out there, they're like, yeehaw.
Like that would hurt Taylor Swift.
Right, like, motherfucker, you paid $4,000 for this. I'm winning.
This
right
is at
now.
a Trump event?
This is at an auction.
Oh, at an auction?
It's an auction.
It looked like it might have
Trump
been
event.
a Trump event.
Lamar Odom. Is it any relation there, Gentry?
Gentry.
That's my cousin.
Is that your cousin? He got a salmon sperm facial. He says it keeps him
What?
young. He likes it.
Oh, man.
This is Lamar Odom is taking his skincare routine to a whole nother level. The two-time NBA champion just got a salmon sperm treatment done on his face.
Somebody
Man,
nutted
Black-
on his face?
Man, black don't crack
right there.
for
Look at
one.
that. The 44-year-old rolled up through Dr.
Jeez.
Robert Dorfman's office in Beverly Hills on Monday for the procedure, which consists of microneedling the skin with Regurian salmon sperm.
Man,
What? Salmon jizz on your face
Like, that is
with
fucking-
needles.
Right on your
like,
face.
yeah,
That's crazy.
You think you can get mashed potatoes with that? Because I always like my salmon with a side of
Jizz.
garlic mash.
Got gravy,
garlic
that's
man.
for
No,
sure.
no salmon jizz?
Gravy.
All right, this one is a cheerleader tackle. This Auburn cheerleader flipped into an Oklahoma defensive back, Macory Vickers, on Sunday as the Sooners, I guess,
Sign her up.
took him out. Yeah.
Bang, 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 boom.
Boom.
We knew your ass wasn't getting no playing time. Your ass ran into a damn cheerleader.
She got taken out. The Sooners took an early lead in that game, leaving the Auburn scoreless in the first quarter. They did end up winning the game.
Auburn blew it.
No thanks to that guy, probably.
Nah, his ass.
Iran attacks. Iran fired roughly 200 ballistic missiles at Israel in an escalation that risks wider war in the Middle East. Days after Israel killed the leader of Iran-backed Hezbollah and sent troops into Lebanon. They're on the ground in Lebanon. And they did the pager thing I talked about. The pagers and the handheld walkie-talkies were real. The goat butt thing was fake. But this is a real attack on Israel.
Yeah, that's happening.
Iran is warning Israel not to attack back, but Israel's planning a big attack back, and this could be a really wide, a big escalation here. Like the whole Middle East could go up here in flames at any time.
Tomcat, you think Trump is going to save the world if he becomes
No,
the
I think
president?
no one can save the world now.
Yeah, because
Trump can't save
Israel gonna
No.
being they, who they are, they gonna fire
That's a
back,
tall
which
order.
they shouldn't.
It's Superman. He can
They
do a
should
good
let-
job.
Well,
let-
they have
should let
they
this
they,
shit
they
go.
do whatever they want because Daddy over
Yeah, I
here
know.
keeps helping them out. They're the little bully over there that keeps starting wars all the time. It's like stop.
Yeah,
Like 60 years. Like come on,
All right,
enough.
my last story is a fun one. This is a feel-good story. Power slap, baby.
What?
Do you know the fastest growing sport? It's called power slap. Power
Oh,
slap's
yeah,
going
love
international
that.
for the
I
first
love
time,
that.
and
Are
they're
you
doing it with some
serious?
star power.
Pow!
TMZ Sports has learned that Paige Van Zant will compete in October 24th in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, she's hot, too.
30-year-old Paige Van Zant. Watch this. She takes some hits and she levels some hits.
Who is Paige
Watch this.
Van Zandt?
Look her up.
Watch this. She levels this. This chick has to take a knee. She
Yeah,
gets
get
her
her,
good
Paige.
wind up and the pitch. One more.
Puts that, puts
Whack.
that
Now
ass
watch
in.
this. She's about to take a knee here. That girl's
Yeah,
no,
Paige.
That girl's no butt.
Bust her up, baby.
Yeah.
Who the hell is
She
she?
went
Oh,
down.
she's down.
Who is Paige Van
That's
She
Zandt?
it.
is a UFC fighter.
She used to be.
Oh shit, she gonna win every fight.
She's a badass. I like. She's married to a UFC fighter too.
30-year-old Van Zandt, one of the biggest stars in
Oh,
combat sport.
Damn.
Ooh.
Yep. PS9.
Did they check her
This
for a
Power
penis?
Slap 9 goes down in the same week as the UFC 308, all happening
Wow.
on Fight Island, which sounds awesome. I want to be there on Fight Island.
Ooh, that guy got busted up.
Whoa,
Look at his shit.
Look at his face.
Oh, he is.
This shit
oh,
my
his
God.
jaw is broken.
That's
His,
awful.
his whole face looks broken.
I think
His-
I would Can we go
his
back?
whole,
Oh, his
yeah,
whole
yeah.
his whole
face. Is
his
broken.
whole shit caved in.
Man,
Yeah, you don't want that to happen. Oh,
these
idiot.
guys are
Lord.
idiots. Man.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
that's a
stupid.
feel-good story right there, kid.
I think something that would feel much better. Could we pull up Paige Van Zandt's Instagram?
Yeah,
Because
I want to know who.
That's-
Paige
Can we look
Van
at her
Zandt-
shorts? I just want to see she has a
Wait till you
package.
see Paige's Instajam. and you're gonna love it.
I don't know who
Go
she
ahead
is
and
right
pull
now.
it up if you
Is
can.
she a
from the top.
tran or a man?
Paige Van
Well,
Zandt,
see, if she a
former
tran, I don't wanna see
UFC
it.
fighter. She's a smoke show.
She's a really.
That's not Paige Van Zandt.
What
Oh,
was it?
there.
Oh,
Yeah, pull up one of
she's on-
those videos.
She's
of her.
in porn too.
No, she does a OnlyFans. I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, that's
that
not what
video
we
we
wanna
just
see.
watched. That's
I want
the-
to see
the
what she
same
look
match.
like.
Come on, you guys are giving me misinformation here. What's going on
Okay.
with this
Oh,
newscast?
All right, there we go.
Come on.
What are they doing in the truck?
There's Paige Van Zandt. Yeah, I'm a fan of that Paige Van Zandt.
Oh,
She'll slap you around, Gentry. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Get your ass on
Get
the
your
bed.
ass there. Eat this unit.
I'll
bitch.
put her in a full Nelson.
Yeah, she
Mike,
put
you
your
did
ass
great,
on the
brother.
floor. Yeah, you did.
I'll get her in a camel clutch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely the camel clutch.
The camel clutch.
Good in the figure four.
Come here, eat it.
Put it in put it in the sleeper hold.
Good job, Mighty Mike. By the way, great job today on the show.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you
nice
guys.
work, brother.
Thank you.
Man, this show
I'm
just
loving it.
flew right by. Memphis, you got
Are
any
we done
final
already?
words or
Already?
anything?
Yeah,
Something to
nice.
say?
Shit, yeah, man. Keep your cholesterol checked and shit. smoke good weed, and yeah, man, drink water.
What about you, Tomcat?
I
Anything?
just want to say I'm sorry, Ramo. Ramo called in because he said he had diarrhea, bro.
Man,
he's on the toilet right now,
How
tearing
much
it
weight
up.
do you think he's lost sitting on that shitter right now? You think he lost about 6-7 pounds?
Fucking frijoles and enchiladas and fucking
bean
just
burritos
shit flying out of there.
Remember, folks, life is like a sandwich. No matter how you flip it, the bread comes first. So stack your priorities right, because you never know what the next bite will bring.
Yeah, especially coming out of Rainbow's ass.
Add more cheese.
Oh, yeah, more cheese, less frijoles.
He gonna need some like Pepto or something, man, because you know his butthole gotta be like burning right now.
Man.
God bless you. We'll see you back next week, God's willing. So long, everybody.
Peace. Yeah.